Welcome. I am so happy to be here today with Wolfgang Hildebrandt, my guest, who is the author and has produced the most beautiful song called Let's Stay Together, which is on the Grammy long list. And I am so excited for you to hear his story. I am Karen Hall, and I'm the host of the Empathy Advantage podcast. And when I heard Wolfgang sing, oh my goodness, his voice is so beautiful. It's divine when you hear his voice. And I met him in Los Angeles. He was performing at an event that I was invited to. He was invited by Dante Sears and Eric Zuley, and I have to thank them for bringing Wolfgang to the event. He came all the way from Cologne, Germany, to sing for us. And so, Wolfgang, thank you for being with us today, and thank you for your gifts that you are sharing with the world.
Yes, I'm very, very happy to be here. And it was really a great success to meet you, and it was so beautiful. It was a fantastic event, and I'm so happy that you invite me for your podcast, and we will see what happens.
Yes. Well, so when Wolfgang sang, he sang two songs. He sang "I Am," said I, and he sang "Bridge Over Troubled Water." And when he sang "I Am," said I, the message that came through was, I kept thinking about our divine identity, and I kept thinking about how when we remember who we really are and who we really belong to, that we are created by love and we are beings of love. And that led to the second message that he sang about, bridge over troubled water, how we can bring peace to this world. And I know that as Wolfgang and I visited afterward, Wolfgang has such great faith. And I know that his faith is something that is what drives him in everything that he does, in the choices of songs that he sings, and in the lyrics for the song that he wrote. So, Wolfgang, if you could tell us a little bit more about what you thought about those songs, why they mean so much to you, and a little bit more about the choice of the lyrics.
Yeah, thank you for the question. The situation is, when I was 6 years old, I heard the speech of Dr. Martin Luther King, "I Have a Dream." And I didn't understand nothing. I didn't understand nothing. But I saw that the faces of the people, of the audience, changed from, I would say, from not from an angry face, but from a face with no hope into a face with happiness. And then I said, wow, what this guy did is incredible. And there was for me sure, I hope you understand my English, there was for me sure, when God gave me the talent to sing, that is my message, that is my thing that I have to do.
Yes. And so tell me again, how old were you when you saw that video of Martin Luther King saying, "I have a dream"?
5 or 6 years I was old, and I saw his speech. And later, I was years ago, I was at the King Center in Atlanta, Georgia, and I met his daughter. I was there, and it was something between happiness and it was actually, I met them at 6 p.m. That was for me in Germany 12 in the night, and I couldn't call anybody to say, I'm actually here where I always dreamed about it. And it touched my heart, and that gives me the motivation to say I have to do something for peace, because music is the best instrument to spread peace.
Oh.
And when I talk too long, please say stop or whatever. So, and then I said, oh my goodness, I have to do something. And then I composed the United Nations song. And I went to the United Nations in my country, in Germany. It was in the city Bonn, Bonn, at this time. And they said, oh, this is a nice song and whatever. And I said, what? And then my first long flight was then from Frankfurt to New York, and I had my lyrics, I had my song, and I went to the German embassy, UN embassy, said, "Hey, my name is Wolfgang. I wrote a United Nations song," and they said, "Okay." And they listened to it and they say, "That's a great song." I said, "Yes, I told this to the guys in Germany, but I never got a response." And they say, "What do you want?" And I said, "I want to sing the song at the United Nations headquarters." And I said, "Okay, we make a phone call." Then I went 2 hours later to the guy who arranged everything at the UN. And then actually later I performed. I was the first German. I performed then the United Nations song in the Dag Hammarskjöld Hall. Dag Hammarskjöld was one of the first Secretary Generals, and it was a full house, and all ambassadors were there. The German TV, over 1 million people saw, and when I performed my United Nations song, and then I was looking, is there a free website? And then I saw UnitedNationsSong.com was free. I couldn't believe it. I directly bought this URL out of this website, and now I have the website since 1997 when I performed there, the UnitedNationsSong.com, and there I was on several events at the UN. Kofi Annan invited me, and so that was one of the first steps where I saw that 192 nations try to make peace.
Yes.
And when you walk into the United Nations, you feel the spirit. You feel the spirit that they really try to do something.
Yeah.
And I performed for the peace bell ringing. It's a very important event for the children event at the UN, because I say always children are the future, and when children have no future, no one has a future. But
Yes,
on
and this is something that really drives you in your singing, is to help
Yes.
promote more peace for the
Yes.
children.
I do this not for me to make me bigger. I'm 6'4" tall. I'm enough tall, but I need. When God gives you a talent, you have to be very careful with this. You have to know what you get, what you got, or what you received. And then I said, I have to do something. And music knows no walls among nations, knows no skin colors, knows no religion, knows whatever. No, music is there for everybody. So
Yeah.
and that's the thing. And then was the 9/11 attack at New York, and I composed in the night the song "Let's Build a House of Peace." And then in this time we don't had internet. Then I sent a fax to the police commissioner of New York and said, "Listen, I would like to record the song with the police choir in New York. I want to set a sign for peace." And then he wrote. They sent a fax back. And they said, I'm so sorry, we don't have here right now a police choir. And 3 hours later, there was a phone call. "My name is Anne-Marie Maloney. I'm from the NYPD in New York. She's really one of the best singers there, female singers. I would love to do this with you." And now we create a choir. And then that is the good thing with America. Then I said, okay, what I have to do now? Then I said, okay, American Airline was the airline who crashed into the towers, into the Twin Towers. I called American Airlines, said, "Listen, I want to record a song for peace. Let's build a house of peace." They said, "Wolfgang, you will have 2 business seats when you come." Then I don't know, I don't remember the name of the hotel. And then I called a hotel in New York and I said, "Listen, I want to record the song with Anne-Marie Maloney was one of the police officers. She sings later, 3, 4, 5 days later after the attack, the national hymn at the Yankee Stadium." And then everything was clear. And then the hotel said, "Wolfgang, the time when you were here, you have not to pay for the hotel. we invite you and we will give you a grand piano in your hotel room. I said, I can't believe this. This is America, from the warehouse to the penthouse. So then when I was
Oh, we lost Wolfgang for a minute. We will get him back in just a minute here.
I'm back.
Yay, we're so glad you're back.
I'm back. So wait. So and then I said, okay, where I record the song, and one of the legendary studios in the world is a studio from Jimi Hendrix, the Electric Lady Studio in New York. And then I called them, and they say, okay, Wolfgang, normally we have no time, but half of the price, you can come. So, and everything was done. So, and later I invited the 3 police officers to Germany on a big TV show, and we sing there the song again. And that was the second thing where I said, oh my goodness, this only can happen in the US. I say always, we in Germany, we build the best cars. I'm sorry, but a dream to do something, to change the world, whatever. We are the world, and this only can happen in the US. That was always my feeling. And then I was there. Then later, Hillary Clinton invited me. My freedom song was on the first election website from President Barack Obama. And I worked and I performed for Bishop T.D. Jakes in Dallas, Texas. Everything comes then and then and then. I performed then for Desmond Tutu, Archbishop Desmond Tutu in Cape Town. Peace Nobel Prize. He owns the Peace Nobel Prize. And for the Nelson Mandela Foundation, I performed for in the former concentration camp in Auschwitz. For me, it was always important to set signs. But always my way goes back to the United States, because I love New York. And when I was little, when I was 8, 9 years old, I had one hero, and that was Andre Crouch, the legendary gospel singer, writer, Andre Crouch. And then I know someone, he said, Wolfgang, come to LA and we go to the church to Andre. I said, what? Then I booked a flight to LA, my first time, and I fell in love with the city. I love Los Angeles because I was never there, but I felt home. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So then I went to the church. It was in the San Fernando Valley, where the New Christ Memorial Church from Andre Crouch and his sister, his twin sister, was. And he has a twin. I have a twin sister. Her name is Barbara Babel. And then I sit there, and then I saw a lot of people from Sweden, from Denmark, from everywhere. They visit the church to get in contact with Andre. And he knew everybody wants that they help you with music, that he helps you everywhere. And I did nothing. And then he looked at me and he said, who you are? I said, I'm Wolfgang. Yeah, let's go for lunch after the church. I said, what? And then, Jesus, the answer, don't know why Jesus loves me, soon and very soon, through it all, and all the songs. And I couldn't believe that I went with him to a lunch. And that was the point where we worked together. We had a great friendship. We were like brothers. And when I was at his home and we want to eat something, we never met at his home, because when we sit at his home in front of the grand piano, we never walk for a dinner. We always were singing and whatever. And he was, for me, the most important person. I'm a Christian, and he died, I think 7, 8, 9 years ago. And sometimes when I'm I don't know where I am, and something asked me a question, or I'm nervous, or I am a little bit exhausted. Then I asked myself, what would Andre do? How he would? He had a beautiful smile. And then now we come back to your main question. He said to me, Wolfgang, he wrote it on his last CD cover, "Dear brother Wolfgang, hurry back home." Andre, he said, come back. And then he said, and you will earn a Grammy. I said, what? You have 8 Grammys, you have a Star Walk of Fame. And he said, Wolfgang, your voice is much better as mine. I said, Andre, don't say this. And but it was like he was a twin, I was a twin. Then only I said to him, God did one thing not right on me. He gave me the wrong skin color. I love the dark skin color. And then yes, and that was for me the thing that I said, I'm working, try. Then I was since 2022. Then I signed by what was it? Sony Music in New York. And then in this year I signed then through AMG by distribution deal by Universal Music Group, and did all the recording, mastering at the Abbey Road studio in London, very known from the Beatles, from whatever where. And then I said, then I was twice. No, they wrote me again a letter, a mentor for the Grammys. It gives a Grammy U program where I work with students for the Grammys. And then once the Grammys in the Corona time, they moved from LA to Las Vegas once. And I performed there on the after show party. And it was, yeah, and then I feel like Kevin is alone at home. Kevin is alone in New York. I hope you know the movie.
Home Alone.
I was January 11, 2024, and in January 13, I was in January this year. I performed twice as a musical guest at Carnegie Hall. And I said, oh my goodness, at Carnegie Hall, I was so nervous. And, and do you know when you have lyrics in your mind, what you sing night and day? And then before I start to sing, I said, okay, I hope I will not lose my lyrics. When you perform in Germany, nobody would really understand when you don't lose some words, when you lose some words. And then actually, but in America, they know every word. So, oh my goodness. And the other thing was I have a friendship with the son of Art Garfunkel. It's Art Garfunkel Jr. He sings here in Germany. He's very known here. He sings in German language. He did right now EP Father and Son, with his father, and so. And always I loved Bridge Over Troubled Water.
Oh.
I said, and I said the message of the song. And we don't have to build walls. We have to build bridges. Yeah. That is the most important thing. We have not to criticize people. And the main problem today in our time is we don't listen.
Yes. Oh, yes. And Wolfgang, I have to emphasize, as you were named as an ambassador for World Peace Day, and in Berlin.
Yes.
That is such a prestigious honor to be given that gift to be.
But it was not nice. I was performing there, and then they said to me, "Can you make a speech?" And I did a speech, and then they invite me for the next time. And they said, "Wolfgang, you will do a speech again?" And I said, I'm a singer. They didn't ask me to, I'm joking, but it was so important to do this. Yes, as an ambassador of the United Nations Day in Berlin. It's so, yeah. And then I recorded Bridge Over Troubled Water. And then I sent it to Art Garfunkel Jr. He said, brilliant, brilliant. And then I was at the last year with my guitar. I was at Carnegie Hall. And then I said, okay, I need to have a effect machine that the guitar sounds much brighter and better. And then I changed the battery in the guitar. It was a problem. It was not easy to change the strings of the guitar. When I was done, then the guy calls from the Carnegie Hall. Hey, Wolfgang, you know that you cannot use anything, technical things. What? No, you have to sing there without a microphone, only with your guitar. Booms. And then I went there, and then I said, I always pray before I performing. And I said, God, and Andre, please look on Wolfgang. And then I had a manager. She died for 2 years ago. She was 80 years old, but she was for 40 years by EMI. And then I said, okay, slowly go to the stage and sing the song. And then I actually sing the song, and I love this. I love this song. And later, then I wrote the song because the world is in a big trouble right now, everywhere. And sometimes I close my iPhone here, so switch it off. So sometimes, you know, the world is so a nice world. When I was in Tel Aviv, I did a concert in Tel Aviv and did a peace walk from Nazareth to Bethlehem. I feel the holy ground of this country.
Mm.
When I was in South Africa, I feel Mother Earth. So, and then I said, then I was at the United Nations, and I always say, New York is the pulse of the free world, and the United Nations are the keeper of the free world. And then in our time with iPad, iMac, MacBook, iPhone, we are so stupid sometimes to each other, and there are some old donkeys in the world, and they make the world crazy. And that is what I don't understand.
Right.
Why we cannot live in peace.
Peace. Okay. And one of the things that I have to go back to. So as a child, you had mentioned that your father was a role model for you for peace, and that he had taught you to play the guitar, and then you were
Yes.
involved in the church choirs. Can you tell us a little bit more about, because faith has been such a bedrock of your life and guiding everything that you do, and you can hear it in everything that you say. Your passion, the passion that you feel.
My father was not a church visitor. He didn't visit the church, but he said, Wolfgang, you have to go. So, and I have to say, Father, Daddy, I have to pray for you because you are not in the church. And that was the first time when I listened to the songs of Andre Crouch.
Mm.
And this is what really touched me. And I said, wow, this is so incredible. And then my father said, Wolfgang, and you have to learn guitar. I said, why? He said, Wolfgang, you are young. You are 14, 13. When you are together with young people and you play guitar, all girls loves you. You know what I mean? I said, okay, but I don't want to learn guitar because the girls love me. I want to play guitar because I want to sing my own songs.
Yes.
And then was the situation that I went to a guitar teacher, he teach the guitar, how to use. And after 2 months, I said, oh my goodness, I have no time for this guy. And I play and learned it by myself.
Uh-huh.
And in the church, we have a grand piano, and I learned grand piano by myself, and like Andre did it by himself too. So, and then I'm not the big piano player, but I know how to touch the piano. What is it? The white and black. What is the name of it?
The keys.
The keys. I knew how to touch it.
Yeah.
You have not to play 5 million keys. Only you have to bring your soul into your hands. Then you don't. When you see country songs, for example, country songs only sometimes 3 or 4 or 5 keys, and that's it. But the soul there, that is important.
Yes.
So, and
And
that is
that's what I
yeah.
feel. That's what comes through so strong. When you sang, I couldn't contain my tears because I felt your soul. I felt your love for people. And I know that everything in your life is your prayer for the world for peace. And you call yourself a musician for human rights. And it's interesting because I feel like God opened the door for you to provide so many incredible opportunities as you've been describing all these things. What you're telling us is the miracles that you have experienced in your life. And I just celebrate that. And I want everyone to feel that it's because of your love for people. It's because of your desire to have that prayer for peace in the world answered. That's your desire. That's what motivates you. And I just appreciate that so much about you. I want to go back to one other thing that happened when you were younger. So I remember you were offered the opportunity to be the lead singer in the military for the German military band.
Yes.
And that could have been fame, for you at that young age, and even playing the guitar so that you could gain popularity. That could have been your motivation, but it wasn't. It was this dream that you had in your heart for peace, for the world. And so instead of, I want you to tell the story about when they offered you to be the lead singer in the German military band. What happened?
Yeah, so actually it was a competition where you can send songs, and in this time I released a Christian vinyl, also LP, and one of the song was My Last Pants. And the story about this is, what is the last pants what you wear? Is it a uniform before you die? Or is it the Levi's jeans? It was an anti-war song.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And with the anti-war song, I win the military competition.
What an irony.
And then I said, oh my goodness. And they were actually in my hometown. There was a big building for them, that big studio. And the best of the best in Germany who is a soldier and plays the instrument was in this band. It was an incredible band until now, until today. And then I said to myself, Wolfgang. And they say, Wolfgang, tomorrow we are in Hamburg. On the next day, we are in Munich. On the next day, I say, what? I don't want to leave my hometown. I want to stay here. And then I said, no, I don't want to be a lead singer. And because I feel that it's not there where God wants to have me. And then I said, no. And I got a lot of opportunities to be a lead singer of other German very known groups. And then I said, no, that's not where where I have to go. And then sometimes, last time, one person said to me, Wolfgang, I said, I know I'm an old donkey right now. I'm not a young person anymore, but I'm young in my heart, and I'm not unhappy where I'm right now in my, I don't like to say career, I would say in my musical life, because a career you have when you have a golden or platinum record. And then I said, I'm not unhappy because God knows exactly when the time is there for me. So, and that is yet this you have to understand. Don't cry, don't whine, don't be crazy, don't be exhausted, don't be unhappy, don't be angry. God puts you in he knows exactly the time, and then be prepared for this time.
Oh, yes. And all of these experiences have, I can see how they have prepared you for this time, because like you said, we need more peace in this world. And so one of the other things that you have said is that music heals places words cannot reach. And so tell me about the the feeling when you say let's stay together, and you wrote this song. I know
Yeah,
one of your goals was so that no one would feel home alone, like you did,
yeah.
and that we don't have to wait for peace. We can choose it right now. Tell me more about your song, Let's Stay Together.
Also, let's stay together. First is we cannot wait for peace. We have to work daily for peace. Daily, every second, every minute, every hour, every day. We have to work for peace. And it's only on we humans, we can decide where we want to walk. Sorry. So when you, and then I said, I don't want to write an unhappy song, a sad song about the situation in the world where we are right now. Children have hunger, millions of children dying because they have nothing to eat. It gives so many problems in the world. You have to write a positive song, a song where people can move, where people can be happy, and but with the you can. I wrote in the verses a little bit about the situations, but important is then when the chorus comes, the refrain comes, you have to make people happy, and the chorus is the thing where you give the people the message.
Yes.
So, and then I said exactly what I said before: no matter where you come from, no matter what for skin color you have, for religion, races, whatever you are, every color is important in a picture. And when one color is missed, then the picture isn't ready, isn't done. So,
Right.
so that means, and that was the situation that I said, let's stay together through all our problems.
Yeah.
You know, when we both go for a dinner, and you say, Wolfgang, I eat a steak. What do you like to eat? And I would say, I'm not so happy about a steak. I would like to eat whatever, fish. So, but then it cannot be that we both come into trouble because you are so angry. Wolfgang don't want to eat a steak. But by the way, would love to eat a steak. So that means we have to accept, we have to be tolerant and say, okay, when you're happy with a salmon, be happy. So, and I understand this. And we have, the thing is, we have to learn. We have to learn that when other people love this, I have not to agree with this. I have not say, oh, until up tomorrow I will do the same. But
Right.
I have to be tolerant and
Yeah.
say, this is your thing, be happy. And I can't have a dream when my neighbor cannot have a dream. When my neighbor has a dream, then my dream comes through. So that is the whole entire story. And then years ago in the car, I have a video, by the way, I will send it to you, from Andre Crouch, where we sit together in his, I have to say this, in his Mercedes. And then we sit together, and then we worked on the bridge on the song what I actually composed 10 years later. So, and I was so honored to meet him, about everything what we did together in singing and have dinner and talking, praying, everything what we did together in his church, it was for me a main thing to put the words what we actually worked together on the bridge, to put it in the song Let's Stay Together. So that is for me always say, hey, Andre, I put our words into the bridge.
Yes.
And that is for me another thing what is for me very important. And then I saw that people really love the song because the song is moving. People can clap their hands, can be happy. And do you know, Karen, we all walk through the valleys and mountains in our life. Everybody, if you are a president, if you are a homeless person, whoever you are, we all walk through the valleys and mountains in our life, and we have to enjoy the time where we walk, where we are in a good situation in our life, when we are on the mountain and we love everybody, that we enjoy this, because the time comes where we can, I hope the word is right, suck from this good times and bring it into our bad times.
Right.
So, and we have to learn not only to pray to God. Oh God, I don't know. When I was a little child, oh, tomorrow I knew I have not worked very good in whatever, in English in the school. I hope that I get a 5 or 6 of the bad. Then you start to work to pray. You have to pray in good times, and you have to pray. You can pray in bad times. It's not only God who helps you when you don't see a light in the darkness. When you see the light, please say thank you too.
Right. Exactly. Remember him always. I have to bring up one other musician that I know has influenced you greatly, besides Art Garfunkel and Andre Crouch, is and Neil Diamond, as you sing, I said.
I
And then
met him.
you met him. Oh, I'm sure you did, because I heard you sing many of his songs, and so beautiful. And his message and his love comes through when you sing his songs as well. And then also Josh Groban. And I know that you have sang a song of his, You Raise Me Up, at every concert. Can you tell me why you sing that song at every concert?
First, it is one of the best love ballads whatever was written, like the same song Through It All from Andre Crouch or Bridge Over Troubled Water. I'm actually a ballad singer. So, and when I sing I Am I Said, for example, Neil Diamond was born in New York. Now he lives in LA. I think so. And then he said always, when I'm in LA, I miss New York. And when I'm in New York, I miss LA.
Yeah.
So, and for me, it's the same thing. When I'm in LA, I miss Cologne, Germany. When I'm in Cologne, I miss LA.
Yeah.
That's the reason. I sometimes say the song is written for me too. You can give everything in it. And that was for me the main thing. And then I saw him, for example, a few years ago in Cologne. And then other artists, they jump over the stage and do this, or short pants, or whatever they're doing. This guy took his guitar, went to the stage, said hello, and he starts to sing. And he don't need 1 million lights shows around him. He only sang. And that is what I said. He's so an incredible and fantastic singer with an awesome voice, a voice what you recognize. And then I said, and always when I'm performing, the same thing is with Josh Groban, with You Raise Me Up. And I never would imitate the original artist. I sing the song because I feel it here.
Mhm.
So, and I give my own interpretation. Is it right? Interpretation
Yes.
into the song. And that's important. And when you sing, You Raise Me Up, when you sing Bridge Over Troubled Water, when you sing Through It All. So when you sing ballads, you sing it by every performance in another way, because you sit there, you feel the auditorium, you feel the people they're sitting there, and then I say, oh my goodness. And then I follow my feelings, my voice follows my feelings. And
Right.
then and sometimes it can happen that I'm so in the song that sometimes I forgot one word because I'm so in the song. But important is for me not how I'm looking, because okay, the look is important too, but
Uh-oh. He'll be right back. I think we're having some internet issues where he is.
I'm back. I don't know.
Yes. Good
Yeah,
job.
okay. So the main thing is that people believe what you sing. That's
Right.
the main thing.
Oh,
And
yes. And that comes through so the sincerity, the love, the
yeah,
and even the empathy that comes through in your song, because we know that you've been through hard times by the way that you convey so much love in the way that you sing. And I feel like when you heard Josh Groban sing You Raised Me Up, that you felt so grateful, because I felt like the song raised you up. And maybe during some of your hard,
absolutely right. Yeah,
I feel like
you're
you
right.
probably, yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like you probably have turned to that song in hard times for you.
Also, I can tell you, nobody on earth, also in Europe, sings I Am I Said and You Raise Me Up and Bridge Over Troubled Water so often as I. Because it
That's
is we have in Germany the Cologne Dome. It's a big church, and I say always, what the dome is for Cologne is for me. For me, are the three songs,
oh yes.
because and that is what I'm saying. I was very nervous, by the way, when I performed in LA in the City Hall from Pasadena, because you flew in, you tired. Is my voice okay? So, and I say thank you exactly to Dr. Dante that she invites me to perform at the International Parents Day. And it was a beautiful event. And when we later were at the mansion there, it was beautiful.
Well, and
Um,
what you did, what I think is very interesting is that your goal to raise people up, you did that through your music and through using your divine God-given gifts. You do raise people up. And now with your song, Let's Stay Together, you are raising up the world, because you are reminding us of who we are. You're reminding us of our divine identity, that we are beings of love, and that we can choose peace. Every minute of every day, we have a choice. And when we're struggling and we're in those valleys, hearing your voice and hearing your love can raise us up to a higher level. It can help us to remember that those valleys do give us empathy for others who are struggling, and you convey that. I just felt so much love from you, and I remember you saying that you believe that music can raise people above their struggles to return to hope. And so I feel like Let's Stay Together conveys that message to give people hope. And like you said, it's upbeat, it's happy, and it does raise us up. So thank you for your message of unity and love and peace. And thank you for your unselfishness to want to give your gifts to the world to bring more peace.
And I want to say one last sentence, because I know I talk too much. It is my sentence, and I love my sentence. Today is the day. Not tomorrow, not next week. Today is the day to make a difference.
Yes, today is the day, and you are making a difference
You
with
know,
you are making a difference with your
I hope
song.
so. I hope so.
Yes, you
I
are.
thank you, dearest Karen. I thank you so much that you invited me here for the interview. And please forgive me when I talk too much, but when I'm talking, I cannot stop because I'm so happy about everything.
You are so happy, and you're so
Ah,
passionate because you know that this is the dream that God gave you, and
amen.
that is what comes through. We know this is the prayer in your heart. We know this is your desire, and that is why you sacrifice your life for this mission and this calling to bring love and peace and unity, and using your gifts of music to dissolve those barriers within all the divisiveness of the world. And that's a beautiful mission
Thank
for
you. Thank you so much.
and motivation for your life and for your song. So I wish you all the best for your
Thank
Grammy consideration on the Grammy long list.
you. See what happens.
Let's stay together. Yes, we will stay
Let's
tuned.
stay together, you know.
Let's stay together, Wolfgang, and all of our listeners. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening today,
Thank you
and
so much.
we'll keep you posted on how the campaign goes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye
God
bye
bless you,
now.
Karen. Have a nice
God bless you too, and God bless the world.